Hello and welcome back. So today I wanted to talk about the WitchFire update that's coming out, the Witch Mountain update, and what all is going to be implemented along with a possible timeline. And then this will be a lot of speculation just based on previous updates. Granted, this one has been delayed, so my speculation could be all over the place and absolutely wrong. So just take everything that's said right now with a grain of salt. But I just wanted to discuss maybe some things that we believe is coming, what we know is coming, what we think or would like to see come, and maybe spark a little bit of a conversation in the comments. So we received this post back in January, at the very end of January, saying that Witch Mountain is going to come out in a few weeks. Now, as the recording of this video, it's been about a month, and we received one more post since this one, but it didn't go deeper into when it's coming out. It just says it won't be long. Now, let's see where it says Witch Mountain is a distance, a bit more difficult. We have some good news to share, but first, let's rip the band-aid off. On the painful one, the Witch Mountain update is still a few weeks away. The last time I wrote about this, I said that the gameplay part of the is new to us, that we cannot quite predict the end of the prototyping period. We believe it's going to be good for WitchFire, but we cannot be certain how much more work is needed for the few features to truly shine. Every day, the mountain is a little bit more fun, and one of these days it will be fun enough to share it with the world, but not today. So the reason that came out is because whenever we received like the Angelus and the Frostbite and all those cool things, Witch Mountain was supposed to drop then. It wasn't ready, which is fine. That's absolutely fine. Don't really shit. Take your time. You don't have publishers up your ass, or like all of that shit. So just take your time and release something good. Absolutely fine with being patient, so the game can be great when it comes out. Now, some of the things that they're planning on changing is they're changing the Fallen Prayer system, which, thank goodness. I liked the idea, but in action, I don't ever remember to use them. I used them maybe 3 or 4 times. They don't do too much for you. They give you some buffs and they take aggro, but they're never really all that necessary. I guess if you're a new player and you're struggling, they could be useful, but as of right now, I feel like they're not. And they even go into mention about how they're too easily forgotten. And they even talked about how the demonic weapons are easily forgotten, so why would you remember to summon these guys? So it'll be really, really cool to see how they rework this. And I think they said something about they were just going to make it automatic. So, and they're also adding 7 of them, but I don't know if they're doing that all in the WitchFire or the Witch Mountain update. So, they're also planning on adding a bunch of more lore and story elements, which is phenomenal. I can't wait for that. I wanted to do some lore videos, but it's either I'm too stupid, I'm missing something, or there's not enough lore to make sense of what's happening as of yet. I guess I could release a video on what I understand up to this point, but it doesn't make much sense. So now, as for the new gear, we're getting 2 new weapons, 2 new spells, and a new item. If you've already played WitchFire, you know that these may be, pardon the pun, literal game changers, as equipment has a huge impact on the way you deal with enemies and your survivability. The new stuff is no exception, both affects the playstyle and are just fun. So they're revealing today the Fanfire handgun. This is very exciting, and I don't know if you remember, but in the original trailer, I believe they showed this gun. It had some kind of gold glow, and it was a Fanfire revolver. So we're finally getting it. I'm very stoked about it, and I almost wonder if we're also getting that rifle that it showed. I don't remember if it was a I want to say it was a lever action rifle that they showed in the original trailers of WitchFire. So that's just my speculation. Maybe they're releasing both the guns in the original trailer. That would be dope as hell. Maybe not. Maybe we'll get something totally new. I really hope it's a auto pistol. I feel like the Rotweaver's cool and all, but it's just kind of lackluster. The Cricket's great, but it has some trouble dealing with them elites. I really would like to see maybe some kind of fire element auto pistol or something along those lines. Now, as for the spells, who knows, dude? I'm excited to see what we get. I hope that they're light spells, but I imagine being just on past experience in their updates, it'll probably be one light and one heavy. Now, as for the timeline, they did post a second update quite a little while after this update came out, and that was on the 13th of February. And it's not the same guy. It's not Adrian. It's, what's his name? Chris or something? Oh, it's Peter. Peter, he's one of the community managers, I suppose, and he goes on to talk about all his experience, which is cool. And then right here, down here in the middle, we get this about a paragraph talking about the release of what he calls it, the Labyrinth, which that's interesting. We've heard Witch Mountain the entire time the game's been in development, and all of a sudden he calls it the Labyrinth. I wonder if it'll be some kind of like roguelike, instanced level. Probably not, but the idea is cool as hell to me. So to read what he says here, allow me to clarify. He talks about we've seen the enthusiasm sparked about the recent PC Gamer article, and we absolutely love it. We understand that the plot is becoming quite thick, just like our team, according to the members of our Discord, and the information regarding the new level has been somewhat confusing, to the point where some of you were asking whether the article was accurate. Allow me to clarify then, the source of that information is none other than Adrian himself, so it would be difficult to find anyone who knows more on the subject. Yes, the Labyrinth is coming, and it's going to be absolutely huge. It's by far the biggest level in the game, as mentioned in the previous post, though that wasn't exactly the intention. We're well aware that making bigger levels isn't always the best approach, and it's been proven on numerous occasions by quite a few games. So we're learning from mistakes of others, but at the same time we're on a journey of discovery. We can clearly see the destination, but we're taking the time to make sure that the path is fun before we let you scale the Witch Mountain. And seriously, don't worry, we won't make you wait much longer. So that tells me that they're, at this point, I would guess mid-March at best. I mean, unless we get a new post, this coming week saying an actual release date, just based on how how they're wording it, I would imagine mid-March. They wouldn't tell you just a few weeks and it's not much longer, hold on, unless it's literally about to come out. It's just odd that they haven't given us an actual release date yet, but maybe, maybe they're just having issue after issue. I don't know. So, what would y'all like to see in the Witch Mountain? If we could spark a little conversation. What do you think that second gun's gonna be? What do you think those spells are gonna be? Maybe what element? We haven't got a decay element heavy spell yet, so that would be really cool to see. Maybe some kind of like fetid pool or something. That would be dope. But yeah, that's it. And as far as like the slower content, it's just because this update's coming out. I don't want to burn out on the game before the update comes out, so I'm kind of taking a little bit of a break. I just get on, play a match to get some footage to overlay over the video, and then usually I sit back and just discuss what's going on. So you'll have to forgive me on that. So with all that being said, have yourselves a very fine day.